I respect your time, so let's get right into it. Welcome to another weekly review. There wasn't really anything different that I did last week, so I wondered if I should do one just to hit my upload quota. I decided against it because it's not my style to upload things of no value. Hence, I'm probably 4 days late. Sorry about that. Now, before we start, just a reminder of what my weekly objectives are. I aim to hit 500k crystals of pure profit every week with the least amount of stamina possible and spend the rest on my personal progression. Now, if you're able to reliably and consistently hit more than 500k, maybe you can hit 1 million crystals of pure profit every week, sure, go for it if it's worth it for you. Now, this week I was still profiting from the end of the vacation summer event. Last week I sold a bunch of toughening stones at 3.9k each since the event required players to do certain enchanting quests. With regards to what I sold last week, here is a rough breakdown. So number 1, level 5, 1 stamina gardening plants, namely algae, seaweed and kelp, just like last week. Profit is around 86 crystals per stamina after tax. Since the world level is at 62, the guild orders are still asking for items from level 5 gardening and level 5 fishing. That is why it's able to clear fast and reliably. There are of course more profitable stuff from smelting 6 and gardening 7, but I have not reached those stages yet, so this is my best profit making life skill for now. I also sold level 5 fishing loots. Profit is around 63 crystals per stamina. Usually I avoid fishing for profit because I'm not able to sell the trash fish and they are stuck as dead weight in my inventory. However, the level 5 trash fish are actually required items for guild orders, so everything is able to sell quickly and reliably. And because the trash fish actually has some use, I finally got to test out the fishing god himself, Wendell GX 100% success rate fishing methods. I will have a video soon that shows how I follow his teaching step by step, exactly to the dot to the T, and break down my own fishing frame by frame using a video editor to see if I can reliably recreate his godlike results, or is he just full of shit. Now subscribe and turn on notifications to see if I become a fishing god or still a fishing dog. Now there were some major price drops that happened to almost all the progression items. Looking at upgrading metals 1 and 2, they all fell. I remember there was one video where I talked about my own baseline for upgrading metal and it was like 69.72 and upgrading metal was like 210, so now it dropped tremendously. Everything fell. Refinement items, upgrading items, mats, ores, all fell. Cards continue to grow up. My Marine Sphere card that I got last week at 515k is now 570k. This is precisely what I mean in my previous cards versus gear video. Prices of crucial important cards are more likely to increase due to limited supply, whereas gear progression items are always readily available and prices may even fall based on events. No right or wrong, maybe just do it at the right timing. When prices of cards are low, get cards. When prices of progression items are low, progress. Now let's take a look at the events that happened recently and how it impacted the market and directly affected what I plan to do in the upcoming week. Now 3 notable things happened. Number 1, the Pet Adventure Diary event. This one is ending very soon. The introduction of the pet system, alright? And also the reduction of shadow equipment criteria from 16 to 15, thus many people unlocking their shadow equipment, including myself. So for free-to-play players, the Pet Adventure Diary event is a very chill event. No quests to do, no criteria to hit, nothing to fulfill. It's just a simple grind and get free shit event. When most of the free shit are basically progression items like upgrade, enchanting, refining stuff. That may be one of the reasons why progression items are not selling and prices are dropping. However, it's not the only reason. Now with the introduction of the pet system, it's basically a crystal sink because it's a new thing and it gives decent bonuses. People will naturally put their crystals into it and focus on it more heavily at the start. Furthermore, if you are mining 6 and above, there's a chance to get a random pet progression drop, so many people are flocking to mining, and I will add the loot drop into the calculations in the spreadsheet for mining 6 and above soon. Hence, there's an excess of mining materials in the market currently and prices have been dropping. Lastly, with the reduction of requirements from 16 to 15, players are unlocking their shadow equipments, and I will make a separate video about how to get the best value when you want to upgrade your own shadow equipment and how to get good profit from selling shadow equipment items. Now basically similar to the pet system, people are focusing quite heavily on their shadow equipments as well. And with the insane price spike of luminary soul stones, people are turning to mining for their own progression. Therefore, there is an excess of mining material being dumped into the market and no one is really doing any upgrading, refining, enchanting since everyone is either catching pets or going for shadow equipment. Personally, I'm back to mining this week also because of shadow equipment. Not for progress, but for profit. You can see that I sold a bunch of Luminary Conquering Spear once. A simple breakdown of what I did was to mine for Luminary Soulstones. I mined 108 Luminary Soulstones and bought 3 level 40 White Spears to craft tradable Luminary Spears to sell. Now, the reason why I did it was mainly to earn crystals without spending stamina. However, it's not really pure profit, so it's pretty arguable as to whether it's worthwhile or not. I will do a separate video going in depth about doing this for profit and what are the trade-offs. So for those of you who are wondering, if you have a big lump sum to collect and it overshoots your tax bracket, how do you get taxed? Basically, it will split your profits into two. So any amount before 500k will still be taxed 10%, while any amount after 500k will be taxed 20%. Even though it's the same claim, the game automatically taxes you separately if you go beyond that tax bracket. So you can't do something like claim until 499k and claim a big sum hoping to still be in the 10% tax bracket. It will tax you 10% for 1k and the rest is 20% tax. Alright, a short and simple update today. If your server also has a drop in prices regarding upgrading materials, this is a really good week to take a look at progression. I plan to stock up a little on materials that I plan to use for hitting upgrading Awakening 3 and just relying on fishing and gathering till prices go back up. Mining 6 and above is actually fine if you're trying to go for the pet progression items or the shadow equipment profits. The ores itself, however, are taking a huge hit, so I would suggest to hold off selling them unless you're desperate. Similarly, smelting is not really worth it this week as well based on the prices in my server. Oritacon in my server has gone back down to negative value, so definitely consider just buying them off the market to gamble your refinements or just sell the ores separately on its own. Thank you so much for 1k subscribers. I hope to open the community tab soon, and if you have any suggestions or feedback or topics you would like me to cover, do let me know in the comment section. To be honest, I personally have gained a lot of value from the comments as well, and I'm really humbled by all the support and kind words of encouragement from you guys. Subscribe if you like videos that bring value to your gameplay and keep you ahead of the free-to-play curve. Turn on notifications if you want to see how a fishing dog can become a fishing god, or if you're interested in shadow equipment value, also can subscribe. As always, outplay, not outpay. Bye!